Zeteo, a media organization founded by award-winning journalist, best-selling author, and according to his own description, an all-round troublemaker, Mehdi Hassan. Many of us know Mehdi Hassan from Al Jazeera maybe, and he was a very storm-creating journalist when he was working in Al Jazeera. And Mehdi Hassan has taken an interview of our professor, the chief advisor, Professor Dr Muhammad Yunus. Let's check out what the Mehdi Hassan has asked our professor.
These are fake news.
Okay.
You can't go by those fake news.
I quoted Donald Trump and then you said fake news. Interesting.
Yes, yeah.
Why will it take Bangladesh 18 months to have an election?
This is an uprising. Everything fell apart. Government left.
What do you say to people who say that you're going down a dangerous road when it comes to free speech in Bangladesh?
We are the freest press you can get. We are under attack every 124 hours a day.
Are you trying to say to Israel, we don't want our people going to your country?
We see it on the screen every day what is happening. How the children are dying, being bombed.
Do you believe that Hasina will ever be handed over by India to Bangladesh?
No.
One of the specialty of India right now is fake news.
Do you think Donald Trump should have a Nobel Peace Prize?
What? What type of question he asked, man? Controversial.
Last year in Bangladesh, what started as a student-led protest against the government's jobs quota system quickly and remarkably turned into the ousting of the country's authoritarian Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who fled to India. This, of course, did not come without a price. The UN estimates that nearly 1,400 people were killed during Hasina's brutal and ultimately failed military crackdown on the protests. Since Hasina's downfall, the country has been led by Nobel Peace Prize-winning economist Muhammad Yunus, who is serving as interim leader or chief advisor until a new government is elected in February. And while the country is no longer seeing military crackdowns, there are new challenges, including increasing violence and crime. Earlier in New York, on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly, I sat down with Bangladesh's interim leader, Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus. Muhammad Yunus, Chief Advisor to Bangladesh, thank you so much for joining me on zeteo.
Thank you for having me.
A lot has happened since you and I last spoke. I think we last spoke in 2017. You were a private citizen back then, just your regular Nobel Peace Prize-winning economist, but you weren't running a country. A little over a year ago, student protesters in Bangladesh toppled the Awami League government, with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina fleeing the country. 2 decades, she was a de facto dictator in your country, carried out multiple human rights abuses. A lot of people were pleased to see the back of her. What was your initial reaction to the toppling of her government? What was your memory of that day, that night? What did you feel that night? Fear, hope, shock?
Excitement, yes, indeed. Finally, it happened. That's fantastic news.
Did you think it would happen?
No, it was out of the blue.
We just
there was
hoped.
a demonstration going on. That's what you see in Bangladesh. But not something like that, that she was fleeing the country. The situation was so bad. At that time, I didn't know the details of what happened before she left, but the final news that she left, that was exciting.
And what has the reaction been from the Bangladeshi people over the last year? You just marked 1 year since the revolution, just had the first anniversary. What is the mood in the country right now? Is it still optimism, excitement, hope, or is it frustration at the slow pace of change?
All of it, all mixed. Frustrations as well as excitement of something happening. Frustrations because people like to complain as usual. It's a common thing. They want more. Expectation level is so high. They want everything to be done right now, not tomorrow. So if it is not happening today, you're not good. Those kind of things. But there's a
Very
good direction.
evolution.
It's not negative direction. It's just a high level of expectation.
And after Hasina fled, the student protesters chose you to lead Bangladesh's interim government. Were you surprised by that decision? And why do you think they wanted you, a non-politician, an economist, respectfully a man in his 80s, why did they pick you to be the head of this caretaker government, the chief advisor?
I was surprised because I don't know them. I never met them. I never had any conversation with them.
Oh, wow.
So this is a message first comes through my colleagues in my organization that the students are trying to contact you. They want you to take over the responsibility. I said, ignore them. Don't get involved with this discussion. We're trying to convince them that this is not happening. So next day, they themselves tried to get to me directly. because it's not working with my colleagues. So they called me, explained to me. I said, no, find somebody else. I don't want to get involved. So it's 3 days of this negotiation, discussion, not negotiation. I'm trying to stay away from it. And they kept repeating and repeating.
So what made you do it then?
Finally, they narrated the situation. Look, students gave blood, sacrifices them, kids were shot dead. And so much happened, and they want you to come. Ignore all this, what happens to the country? So they were very passionate, they were trying to argue with this case. Finally, I said, okay, if you have sacrificed so much, I will change my mind. I'll see what I can do for you.
You mentioned the sacrifice and the bloodshed. In February, the UN reported that an estimated 1,400 people were killed during Hasina's crackdown on the student protests last summer. Bangladesh has now formally charged her with crimes against humanity. And of course, as you know better than me, she is in hiding in India, where she fled to under the protection of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You've made repeated requests for her to be returned to Bangladesh. What is your response to Modi ignoring your calls to return her to Bangladesh for accountability? Do you believe that Hasina will ever be handed over back India to Bangladesh?
Given to
Never.
themselves, if they're free to make a choice, probably they will keep her. If some legal obligation is there that they cannot avoid, then the situation will be different.
What's India's interest in keeping her?
They have been supporting her all along. They're still hoping, probably those who are behind her, hoping that she will come back from Bangladesh and with full glory of returning as a victorious leader.
And the New York Times has
Oh,
reported
that's
that
sarcasm.
she is having virtual meetings with the Awami League. Does it worry you that
Very much.
India's going to bring her back and try and reinstall her?
I wouldn't say exactly in that words, but the possibility that some external forces will support her to come back to Bangladesh. And we're always worried about that because...
Have you
this
spoken
is
to
something-
Modi?
I have spoken to Modi.
What did he say when you said send her back to face justice?
Two things. First, they said you want to keep her. I can't tell you what to do with her, but make sure she doesn't talk about us. She doesn't talk about Bangladeshi people over her.
Sorry, Modi said that to you, or you said that to her?
I told Modi
Okay.
about that. That please make
what did he
sure
say?
that he said that social media I cannot control.
Since Hasina's ousting, your
media
government
is
has
no
banned
fun.
her former party, the Awami League, suspended their registration, effectively banned them from participating in the next elections. This was despite your fellow Nobel Prize winner, Amartya Sen, who you know very well. He warned against banning the League, saying it would simply be a repeat of the previous government's mistake, which came to office and banned their opposition. You're just repeating the cycle. What is your response to that line of criticism from Sen and others?
Liking this video? Then don't just watch, hit like, share and subscribe. And tap the bell so you never miss a video or live show. But if you want early access to exclusive content, then you have to head to zeteo.com and subscribe now. You'll be supporting fearless, independent journalism.
It's the wrong criticism because we have not banned our League.
I mean, you suspended their registration.
No, not the registration. Simply activities have been suspended.
What does that mean?
Meaning that they cannot do any political activities.
So then you have basically, I mean, they can't run for office.
No, the party is still there.
Can they run for office?
Not now, but the activities are banned.
Okay, so how is that not what Amartya Sen is warning against?
They remain valid as a party.
Okay.
So, but activities for the time being is suspended.
I'm not-
Anytime it could be open,
You mean you could unsuspend them?
unsuspended. That's a possibility.
So you haven't banned the party, you've just
Banned
said
the
for
party.
now,
Yeah.
you can't participate in elections.
That's right.
But how is that democratic to ban a group of people from participating in elections?
Well, that's on the election commission has decided, seeing the possibilities and the characteristics of the party that will disrupt the whole election. So they thought it's better not to.
But you
allow.
wouldn't deny that they have millions of supporters in Bangladesh.
I wouldn't say millions. They have supporters, but I don't know how many are left. Because supporters is something, you're so powerful.
Yeah.
I'm always bowing to you because you're powerful. I'm not a supporter.
But you're not denying this. They do have a constituency in Bangladesh. They don't have no support.
Definitely, it's a long time.
But now those
parties.
people have no voice. You banned their party. I mean, you've prevented their party from taking part in politics.
They can vote for, as voter, they're valid voter. There are a lot of contestants. They will choose their own.
But is it helpful? I'm just wondering.
Only Awami League level will not be there. That's all.
But is that helpful to Bangladesh to have this situation where people are saying,
Otherwise,
well, the new government is cracking down on the old government, the cycle continues?
Otherwise, we cannot hold the election.
Okay.
This party, quote unquote, if it is a party at all, it's a political party.
It's a terrorist
It's
organization.
not behaving as a political party.
Yes.
They have not
Yes.
expressed their remorse that they have killed people. They have not taken responsibility
They are
of anything that they
terrorists.
have done during this period. Not a word. Always accusing that somebody else is responsible for that.
I do want to come back to elections in a moment, but just talking about some of the other criticism that people from outside Bangladesh have made, I want to give you an opportunity to respond. Last November, around 30,000 Hindus in Bangladesh gathered to protest against your government, claiming there have been thousands of attacks on their community. Donald Trump even weighed in at the time, calling violence in Bangladesh barbaric, I think is the word he used. What is it going to take to get that kind of violence, and we can talk about how large or small it is, under control, or is it under control in your view?
First of all, these are fake news.
Okay.
You can't go by those fake news. Even what
I quoted Donald Trump and then you said fake news. Interesting.
Yes. Whether Donald Trump ever said anything like that,
Okay.
whether he had any knowledge of what's happening in Bangladesh right now,
You're saying it's not just exaggerated. You're saying there isn't any violence against Hindus?
Yes.
Even the New York Times reported recently about several episodes of vandalism, mob violence. Police arrested a Hindu monk last November simply for raising a Hindu flag over a Bangladeshi flag. That is happening, right?
That's
You
a
can't
big
deny
crime.
one of the specialty of India right now is fake news.
Okay.
A barrage of fake news.
No, I
All
understand.
kinds of that.
I understand,
So if
but
you-
that's exaggeration.
That's exactly.
But I'm saying, are you saying there's no anti-Hindu violence? Oh, that's not true.
There is a normal kind of relationship that goes on. So some conflict sometimes, some family problem, land problem, and something. You happen to be my neighbor. You are a Hindu neighbor. I'm a Muslim neighbor. We have a problem with our land demarcation. That's like two neighbors. So you say this is Hindu-Muslim. That's not it.
But it hasn't.
So there's a common.
But your position is it hasn't increased since the revolution, even though the Times and other independent reporters are saying it has.
No, it has not increased. That I would say government is very alert on that one, because this is the one thing India is always pushing, that we are bringing pressure on.
So, what is your message as the de facto prime minister, leader, whatever you want to call, chief advisor of Bangladesh, to Hindus in Bangladesh who do feel under siege? What do you say to them?
We just met before I came, because there's a big puja coming up, Durga Puja. So I met them. My message to them always when I meet them as a community group of community leaders, say that don't go back and say I'm a Hindu, so protect me. Always say I'm a citizen of this country. I'm entitled to all the protection the state is supposed to give it to me. So then you have a bigger coverage.
Okay.
All the people who are deprived of the rightful treatment from
Yeah.
the state will be with you.
Okay.
You don't isolate yourself.
So, on that
We
note,
belong to the same community, same people, this country. So demand your rightful obligation of the state that you have to be kept safe.
okay, fair enough. On that note, then, you broaden it to the wider community.
Sure.
The wider Bangladeshi community, not just Hindus or Muslims,
Yeah.
but Bangladeshis as a whole are feeling a little bit insecure about violence, about crime. Dozens of police officers were obviously killed in the wake of Hasina's departure. There have been several revenge attacks on people associated with the Awami League. I believe abductions have doubled. Robbery cases have reached their highest point for 6 years. A lot of the police chiefs were removed, obviously, for allegedly being close to the Awami League. With the benefit of hindsight, obviously there's chaos after a revolution.
Sure.
You come in as a caretaker. But with hindsight, do you think your government could have done a better job when it comes to law and order?
Always, anybody you have gone through your history saying you will do better. Always happens. So in that spirit, you say do better. Imagine this is an uprising. Everything fell apart. Government left. And people who were shooting yesterday at you, today,
Yeah.
they're doing the job as a peacekeeper. You don't know what side that guy is on, actually. So you have a kind of a period where you're totally in a kind of mess. You don't know which side, what happened, what's the reality of it. So during that period is a transition period. when it settled down.
Has it
then-
settled down?
Of course,
Is crime under control in Bangladesh now, in your view?
Definitely.
Because even Bangladesh's army chief, General Waqar-uz-Zaman, said to the public earlier this year, quote, "If you cannot set aside your differences and work together, if you keep blaming and fighting each other, the independence and sovereignty of this country will be at risk." Do you worry about that?
These are nice words. Any person would say that if you fight, sovereignty will be
But this is the head of your army. He's
Of
not
course.
saying it for no reason.
I said this is a common thing. Anybody could say such a thing.
Do you agree with it? Do you agree with it?
Anybody will agree. If you fight, this is our common goal. We say peace, stay united.
But he's
Because
saying
whatever
that
you-
because people are fighting with each other, because things are out of control.
No, not in that spirit. If you fight, he said you are fighting. He said, if you fight.
All right. We can pass
Sure.
the language of your army chief. People can determine what he meant by that. Your interim government has been in power for a year now. You've said that elections will be held in February. It was going to be later, but you've
half.
moved it forward to February 2026.
No,
But
no,
even that,
first half of February.
first half of February. Okay. But even
Because of the Ramadan.
Okay,
It's a
understood.
Ramadan.
But as you
it's a-
said at the start of this interview, a lot of people in Bangladesh, they want action now, not tomorrow, not 6 months
Sure.
from now. The critics say it's too late. 6 more months of waiting for elections is too long. People are growing restless. Why can't we have an election earlier? In Nepal, where the government was also ousted earlier this year, the interim leader has promised in Nepal to hold elections in just 6 months. Why has it taken Bangladesh, or why will it take Bangladesh 18 months to have an election?
Sure. You said people are saying why it takes so much time. There are also people who say stay 5 years, stay 10 years, stay 50 years.
Yes.
So the people are saying all kinds of things. You say, why election? Who needs an election?
Okay, but those are people who don't believe in democracy.
Absolutely.
The people who believe in democracy say, why can't we have elections sooner? What is the delay?
It's not about democracy when they say that. They talk about the good governance.
Okay.
So we want to see corruption-free governance.
Understood.
So you stay on because we don't want to get into the chaos after the election. So all I'm saying that is you gave one version, there's other version
Fair
also. Whether which one version is stronger.
But do you want to tell our viewers today, what is the reason it's taken so long to get to elections?
Yeah.
What's the hold up?
You gave example of Nepal. Nepal is a sort of, what in our term is a caretaker government, meaning that you are responsible to hold an election. So probably that's their.
Are you not a caretaker government?
We are not. We're interim government.
Okay.
We are not. Nobody defined how long we should be there.
Okay.
It's our decision how long we should be there. But we are, and we have understanding that we have 3 tasks to perform. One is reform, another is trial, the last one is election.
Okay.
So we are going to the reform agenda. This is a big agenda.
Yes.
Because if you just hold an election, same old stuff will happen again.
Yep.
Under different name, different pictures, and so on. We need reform. If you just hold the election, same repetition, everything, because the laws, rules, procedures remain the same.
Yes.
So one of the demand for the population led by the students is to reform. We don't want to keep the same old rules, same as procedures, and so on, and repeat the same thing all over again.